Hello, this is Kevin Craine, and I am here with Ed Wingate, Head of Strategic Partnerships at Aluma. We're talking about document processing and the document processing market. And Ed, I've heard you say in the past that you feel there is a revolution occurring in the document processing market. Can you explain what you mean?
Yes, I would say, Kevin, that the market is ripe for some disruption. And specifically, if we look historically at the market, it's been dominated either by those players who provide batch capture of documents, usually deployed in scanning centers or scanning bureaus, or it's on the other side has been in the document workflow application space, which is complex in its own right. Uh, Complexity and high cost are usually justified when the project is big enough to make the effort and deploy a new system. I think what we're seeing in the market is the need for digitization isn't just in large projects and isn't just for large enterprises. The need for digitization is pervasive. It's in SMBs, small medium businesses. It's in individual departments that are currently being overlooked by their IT department because their needs don't rise to the top of the strategic hierarchy of IT projects. And so I see a large swath of opportunity that's not currently being addressed by the existing document management players.
Who are who are best positioned to drive and take advantage of that opportunity?
When I think about who's in the right position, it's usually driven by who has the right to participate. And multifunction providers, multifunction device providers, interestingly enough, are in a wonderful position to drive the change in the market. One may ask, why is that? Because you don't typically associate multifunctions with that type of intense document workflow. And it's because these multifunctions are pervasive. They touch every document that's in the office today. Anything that needs to be digitized is going to be going through that multifunction. Now, currently, the vast majority of multifunctions that are deployed, although they do have a lot of intelligence embedded within them, more often than not, when they scan a document, they simply send it via email, send it to a repository, they send it and ensure that it's delivered, but they don't necessarily add value before they engage in that transaction. So while they possess that document for that 3 or 4 critical seconds when they possess the document, it's an opportunity to analyze the document and add some intelligence and value onto the document before it gets handed off to some other system. And that's the opportunity that traditional multifunction providers or managed print services providers have. As they possess every document that's digitized, they can actually do the extraction, digitization. They can even engage in some of the initial workflow before they hand it off to a back office system of record.
I'm speaking with Ed Wingate, Head of Strategic Partnerships at Aluma, and we're talking about a new opportunity, a new revolution in document processing. Now, Ed, how can Aluma help?
So one of the opportunities that MPS or managed multifunction providers have is that they have deployed technology, but that deployed technology is pervasive, but at the same time doesn't have substantial processing power. In order to put that intelligence on the device, we need to be able to make that intelligence accessible from any device. And so what these MPS and MFP providers need is a cloud-based service architecture, a portfolio of document processing solutions that exist in the cloud that are accessible from each and every multifunction. And that's what Aluma does. What we do is we've curated a set of functions around document processing, whether it be classification, indexing, data extraction, redaction, bookmarking, et cetera, that are all accessible through REST APIs. And those REST APIs can be called from any application, any multifunction in any part of the world. And by allowing that easily accessible architecture to be accessible from everywhere, that allows each and every multifunction to provide that much more intelligence onto the document before it sends it off to some other system for processing.
That's Ed Wingate, Head of Strategic Partnerships at Aluma. Find out more at aluma.io. Ed, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.